Hey there, friend. Let's go deeper with a question for a little self-connection, shall we? Here it is. Are you as trapped as you think you are? Let me explain. You see, the other day I was thinking about a story that a friend told me once that really illustrates what I'm talking about. You see, she bought a house and one night decided that she was finally going to change all of those door handles in the house that she said she wanted to do. So after a few hours, she finally made it to the last door, which happened to be her bedroom. So while changing this final doorknob, she pulled the door shut, and it was at that moment that she realized that she had just made the mistake of locking herself in. Okay, so at first, she wasn't too concerned and started playing with the handle, trying to free herself, which didn't work. I mean, if it did, this wouldn't be much of a story now, would it? From there, she jabbed at it with a screwdriver, which also, surprise, surprise, didn't work. Then she tried to flick the latch from the inside, which again proved that she does not work for the CIA. Eventually, though, she did what all of us would have done. She punched it. Didn't work either. And it was at this point that she realized that she was locked in, like really locked in. Now, this wouldn't have been a big deal if she had a phone with her, but her phone was on the other side of the door. So she sat on the floor and thought about her options. And after going through her options, she realized that it could easily be a couple of days before friends and family became concerned. It was also the weekend. So she said to me her coworkers aren't going to be looking for her until Monday. I know, so old school, right? Anyway, so to make matters worse, my friend was actually going through a bit of a rough patch in her personal life at the exact same time that this was all happening. So being locked in the room was one of those kind of final straw moments, which is the reason why she began to cry for like 2 hours straight, which I gotta say is pretty impressive. Either way, eventually she got to the point where her body could literally not physically produce any more tears, which is when she said to herself, "There is no way I am staying in this room all weekend." She said, there has got to be a way out. And just asking that question caused her to start searching through her closet to see if she could find something that might help her. And that is when she found a bobby pin that a friend had left behind in a little box for some reason, which she desperately now started using to try and move the latch on the lock. And she told me that she literally tried this about 100 times and, of course, was beginning to lose hope and thought that she's going to try one more time. Which, as all good stories do go, is when she managed to shift the lock just enough to open the door. And when it happened, she said it was one of the best feelings she'd ever had in her entire life. Of course, I said to her, even better than meeting me? And apparently, it was a lot better. Anyway, so she said that when she had gone through the door into the other side of the room, the air on the other side of the door actually felt fresh on her face. And she said that she had like this new sense of freedom that she had not even had for a very, very long time. And all of a sudden, she said this rough patch that she'd been going through felt like it was just a little further behind than it was before. And then she was saying like it was like she was getting back to herself. And after hearing that story, it made me think about how all of us sometimes feel like we're locked in some room that we just can't get out of. Maybe it's that job we don't like, or a relationship that's tearing us up on the inside, or a friendship that's just draining us of all of our energy. I mean, hell, it could be something as simple as just a general dissatisfaction with life. And it's in those moments that we are convinced that it's always going to be this way and that we will never be able to get out. And when any of us feels that way, I think the best thing that we can do for ourselves is, yes, sit on the floor, cry our tears. But eventually, we have to stand up and we have to say, there has to be a way out of this. And just asking that question is the first step to getting your power back. And it's that power that not only unlocks your door, but also will unlock the life you are supposed to have.